JT, after the Steelers game, one of the things Zaire pointed to was this is kind of what we need, a short week to put that one behind us and a huge opponent that we've got to put all of our energy and attention into. What is the mentality going into this week, knowing the talent that Dallas boasts on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I actually think that's a good take by Z, especially, that one definitely hurt last week. So on a short week, quick turnaround, I mean, you kind of have to refocus and get ready for the task at hand, which we know is a big one because, like you just said, we know Dallas has some playmakers, they have some really talented guys, so this is not going to be easy by any stretch. It's going to take a lot of grit, a lot of will. It's going to take all 60 minutes. Nothing's going to be given. So the mentality really is this week of practice, we need to make sure that we're locked in. We got to be dialed into their guys because they got some studs over there.
Game wreckers on the defensive side of the ball. Certainly they lead the league in sacks, not just Micah Parsons, but a lot of guys there up front. What are the things you guys have to account for offensively?
Got to count for 11. We got to count for 11. That's first and foremost. Like, he's a dynamic playmaker. He's one of those guys you just need to know where he's out on the field at all times. But on top of that, like you mentioned, they have other playmakers and other game wreckers as well. So it's really going to be just a full radar of everyone needs to be locked in their assignment. It can't be one false slip. There can't be one crack inside of the ball at all.
Did you face Parsons at Penn State at all?
Yes, yeah, we were there in 2018. I believe 2018. I think I played Penn State. 2018.
These running backs that came before you in the Big Ten, guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, you're going to see them in the next couple of weeks. Do you have any relationship with them at all? Did you watch them before you got in?
So me and Saquon and I were actually both at the College Sports Awards together my freshman year. It was me, him, and Bryce Love. So that was the first time I got a chance to really interact with him. Not Zeke. I haven't been because he was already out of school. But it's nice though, like you mentioned, just growing up, being able to watch these guys like Zeke, and then now being able to have a chance to see them live and in action and be on the same field as them. It's really special.
Did you get a chance to go back to the film and look at the exchange at the third quarter fumble this past weekend and maybe take us through what you saw?
Yeah, definitely. We got to execute that. It doesn't matter any level. I mean, we've been handing the ball off for years. I've been receiving handoffs for years, especially in a situation like that in the area of the field. Just got to get that executed.
Does this just seem, we talked about it a little bit last week, does it just seem like something that's almost contagious with something that you're not known for and something that you don't have a history of, but fumbles and turning the ball over like that just kind of come in waves?
No, it's not contagious. You just got to make sure you get it executed every single time you step on that field.
I know this Sunday's the Mike Cleats, My Cause initiative. I know you're supporting No Kid Hungry. Talk a little bit about that and why that's a cause that's important to you.
Number one, just from a firsthand experience, I've seen a lot of kids who would stay after school continuously, day after day, week after week, not in any kind of programs, after school programs, extracurricular activities, just simply because they know that there's no food at the house. And now looking back on it, as an older, not an older man, but being older is kind of saddening to think that kids will do anything, stay after school, go over to their friend's house just so that they wouldn't have to go home because they knew there wasn't a hot meal, there wasn't anything there to eat. So I don't know how any child can function in school knowing that they're hungry. I mean, it's impossible for your brain to function. So just knowing how vital that is. I mean, you need to be able to be properly fueled in order to learn. I mean, there's a lot of information that you learn throughout your years at school. So that's just something that hit home to me because I've seen it on a first-hand basis, and you never want any child to go through that at all.
Knowing that kids, look up to you for what you do for a profession and on the field, how important is it for them to see you doing things other than football and promoting things that help out others?
I think it's really important because maybe there is a child, maybe there is a kid who can see me with those cleats and say, he knows what I'm going through. He knows what this feeling is like, and I just want them to know that there are people out there who care, and we're trying to get this thing fixed because you should not have to have that burden on you.
How easy is it to put last week behind you, knowing you got another primetime game Sunday night football coming up?
It's not easy, especially when you come away with the loss. It's definitely not easy, but the only way to give yourself the best chance of success this next upcoming week is to put that one behind you, learn from it, but to put it behind you and fully immerse and put yourself inside of everything you need to do this week to get ready for this primetime game again against a great team.
We've seen this offense previously get off to improved starts, but then last week certainly stalled within the first half, found momentum in the third. What are the things that you implement this week in practice that you try to execute and hone in on to try to get off to those better starts, especially knowing you do not want this, to quote Coach Saturday, to get into a track meet against the Cowboys?
I think number one, it starts off with each period. Let's start off each period with a completion, or let's start off each period with, a 5-yard gain or in the run, and practice. You do that continually at practice each period so it translates to the game on Sunday.
I know that things change week to week in the NFL, but Dan Quinn was the head coach for Matt Ryan. Is there anything that Matt has told you guys kind of about the way that he runs a defense or operates to let him this week?
Yeah, number one, just know, hey, it's gonna be a fight. I mean, that's the kind of defense that he's gonna run. He's not gonna let you get anything easy. Everything's gonna be schemed. So first and foremost, we need to make sure we're locked into our game plan because they're gonna do a lot of stuff. And as long as we know how are we gonna handle each and every single thing, then we'll be in great shape. That's half of the battle.